Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back with you guys with another soccer video, and we're back attacking the books. We have a Europa League semifinal matchup between Marseille and Atalanta. I think this is the most goal-friendly game on the slate for the Europa League semifinal. So in this matchup, I have 3 props. I did have 2, but they bumped the one of the 2 that I had up, so it's really hardly no value in it. It's still a little bit of value, but you just have to put more down for more return on your investment. So we're going to ladder that with taking them to get 13, Marseille to get 13 shots, as well as them to get 14 shots. I think 13 is more secure now that it's minus 240. But like I said, if if you put a little bit of money on it, you're not going to get that much return on your investment. You're better off going towards the 14 shots or more. And then also, last but not least, we're taking the over 2.5 in this matchup, and I'll kind of describe and break these two teams down into NBA form for those of you guys that don't really watch soccer but you watch basketball a lot. So Marseille in this competition, they are the Phoenix Suns of this competition. They love to score, they love to go forward, they like to attack, but it's like arguing with a brick wall to get them to actually defend, and they concede a lot of goals. Same thing for Atalanta, but they like to sit back in the defensive zone and defend and then go forward, and they also concede goals too as well. As in their last 30 games, they have seen over 2.5 goals in 20 of their last 30 games. And then for Marseille, in their last 14 games, the reason why I broke down 14 games in the Marseille game or the Marseille team is because they had a new manager and they switched over to the new manager. And ever since the new manager took over, they are 10 and 14 and over 2.5 goals in the games that they participate in. So Atalanta, what they like to do, they're kind of the New York Knicks of this competition. Like to sit back and defend, but they like to force you into turnovers in the offensive half, in the defensive half, and then go forward so their defense turns into offense, and they like to score that way. So I could see them with Lookman and one of their best passers and Coop Miners to be able to facilitate the Skakamaka, who's one of the most informed players in this competition, as well as domestically in Italy. So I really like his props. You can look for him to get 1 or 2 shots on target, as they will have their chances as well. As I previously stated, that Marseille doesn't really defend that well. But the reason why I went with Marseille shots over Atalanta shots, I never really like to take teams that like to sit in a low block or sit back and defend, take their shots, because all of their shots have to come in transition. They are not the aggressors in the situation. They are more defensive, passive type of team. They like to be able to force you into mistakes as opposed to you kind of impose your will on another team. So that is why I like to go with Marseille, who will be possessing the ball more in this matchup, as I'm going to show you guys. So Marseille, they possess the ball around, they possess the ball 53% of the time at home, and then Atalanta, they only possess the ball 49% at home. Away from home. Excuse me. And then also Marseille, they defensively, well, actually, vice versa that. So let's look at the defensive stats for Atalanta. So they basically give up 13 shots on the dot. As you can see here, they're 25th in this competition at giving away 13 shots per game away from home. And then Marseille also takes 16 shots per game at home offensively. Let's switch over to the offensive tab. So offensively, they average around 16 shots, as you can see. Let's see here. Switch this. Shots per game. So they actually shoot 16 shots per game at home, and then they also average 6.8 shots on target. Now, one player you can go to for shots on target for Marseille as well, if you want to parlay all this stuff, or if you want to just play as a single. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he is one of the top scorers in Europa League history, and they have him to get 2 or more shots on target at plus 110. That is a good look as well. As you can see, his 1 shot on target is pretty much guaranteed. As you can see here, it's minus 410. So they think that him and Skakamaka can get at least 1 shot on target. So if you want to, you could take them to get 2 or more shots on target. But what I will say is you can also go and exploit that as well with if you go scroll all the way down to the bottom, and just if you want to parlay it, you can put both of them to get 2 or more. Like I would do Skakamaka to get 2 shots, just because he is more on the defensive side of things, where he's trying to force the other team into mistakes, where he can go forward, and he's not going to have the benefit of always being in possession of the ball, as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is. So you can go Skakamaka to get 2 or more shots. And then you can also get Aubameyang to get 3 or more shots, and then you can also pair that with them to get 1 shot on target and parlay them 2 all together, or those 4 all together as well if you're into parlays. I'm not. I like to straight bet everything because I want to be able to maximize my profit, to be able to hit on multiple at one time and not have to depend on one leg to hit in order for me to get my full profit. So that is the way I am seeing this game. And then also, I think I told you guys the latter, the Marseille 13 shots or more, as well as the 14 shots or more. I would put a little bit more on the 14 shots or more as opposed to the 13 shots or more because you will get more return on your investment. But if you want to play it safe, you can do a little bit more of your wager on the 13 shots or more. That way you are guaranteed something if they hit 13, and then put the remaining or the leftover or whatever you have to put on it. You can put it on the 14 shots or more, and that'll kind of, even it out. So you can kind of have, more return on your investment once they get to 14. But I do think they will hit both of these because, like I said, they average 16 shots. So that is well below their average. So I do think that, they will be able to get to 14 shots. And then that also is a hedge spot in case we don't see goals. They will shoot a bunch of shots and create a bunch of chances. So that is my overview on how I see things in this match. So I'm going to go over them again. I have, and then another 2 quick notes on both teams. So in Marseille's case, right, they've had a new coach, and they switched over to a new coach right around February. So I looked at their past games with this coach. So they only played 14 games with this coach, and 10 out of the 14 matches with this new coach, they've had over 2.5 goals in the match. And then as well as Atalanta, I did just a bigger sample size because they had the same coach all season. So in their last 30 games, they went over 2.5 goals in 20 out of 30 games, their last 30 games. So that shows you that both of these teams will concede chances and concede goals. We just have to be able to convert them with the talent that we have on the pitch, as well as the substitutions that we are allotted. Now, one thing to keep in mind too is that Marseille is without 2 of their really, really solid defenders, or 2 of their best defenders, and Jagat, he actually got a yellow card last game, or he's actually suspended for this game with a red, as well as Hiskinen. He is a midfield. He is a center back, so he's pretty much in Daron's spot more than likely. So they have to kind of switch out their back 3 to kind of rotate because he's not in the lineup. So 2 of the best defenders on both teams are going to be out, and then also, if one of the defenders in this matchup on the Marseille side gets a yellow card, then they will be tempted to kind of rotate and switch out because they will be suspended for the next match. That's how it works in this competition. Once you get this far, if you get a yellow, you're pretty much automatically suspended for the next match. So this is a 2-leg tie. So they will play 1 leg in Marseille, and then the next leg next week will be played in Atalanta. So just keep that in mind as well. So that could bode well for our over 2.5 as well. And then also, both teams are kind of pretty much want to play to like a draw, to where as though the next match is like a just a brand new game, because the goals in this game will get carried over to the next game. And let's say, for instance, Atalanta goes up 2-1, they will have the advantage at home. So if they score 1 or 2 goals, they pretty much advance to the next round, unless Marseille ties it up on aggregate, meaning they score, if they're down 2-1 and let's say Marseille scores 1 away from home, they pretty much tie it up on aggregate, and then it's a brand new game. And if let's say it goes 90 minutes and it's still tied 2-2 on aggregate, where Atalanta is up 1-0 in Atalanta, then they basically pretty much goes to extra time, and then it goes to penalties after that to decide the winner and who advances. So keep that in mind as well, is that both teams kind of might play it a little tight in the first half, but I do think there will be goals in the second half in this matchup. But if we just get 1 in the first half and manage to get 2 in the second half, where things kind of open up, where both teams have to kind of go for it, I think that bodes well for us as well. So I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.